Live, local, and talking about the teams that matter to you. This is Talkin Sports with Jim Shovlin on Fort Wayne Sports Station, 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Brought to you by McMahon's Best One Tire and Auto Care.
Good morning and welcome to Talkin Sports, powered by McMahon's Best One. Along with producer, co-host extraordinaire D.C. Hendricks, I'm Jim Shovlin. Thanks for tuning in as we're talking local sports of all sorts until the top of the hour at 10 o'clock. If you have a question, opinion, suggestion, anything regarding local sports, hey, give us a text at 260-447-8500. That's 260-447-8500. And we'll look it over and maybe put it on the air for you. First, right off the top, thank you to Mr. D.C. Hendricks for filling in so admirably 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
2 Saturdays ago. Oh, I know. 29. It was back in March.
Yeah.
And so I tuned in from Orange Beach, Alabama.
Ah, nice.
And
sorry you had to listen to me while you're enjoying the sunshine.
You warmed things up because it wasn't all that warm and tropical down there that day. But thank you to DC. Also, thank you to Adam Lundy for filling in the following Saturday when I was trying to navigate airports of the United States to get myself home from said Orange Beach. So thank you so much to those two gentlemen for keeping Talkin Sports rolling. And I thought, based on some of the texts that came in when DC was doing it, I thought I'd better get my butt back here because pretty soon it'd be taking it over. You know, by popular demand.
Okay, I must have missed.
You must have missed it anyway.
Yeah.
But welcome in. Got a great show lined up for you. We're going to be talking to Mike Nutter, president of the Fort Wayne Tincaps, in our weekly Tincaps chat. We'll do that right after the first break and talk to him about the upcoming homestand with Lake County, the first full homestand of the 2025 Tincaps season. They're on the road in Dayton right now. Got a great outing last night from one of their Padres high prospects. So we'll talk to Mike after the first break. And then at the bottom of the hour, we'll talk to Mike McCaffrey, athletic director at the University of St. Francis, in our weekly Cougar chat. And the football team, which was back playoff bound this past season, has their spring game taking place tomorrow at 12 noon. And it will also include a post-game awards ceremony for their MSFA divisional championship. So there'll be a lot of things going on there. I'll be out there enjoying the festivities.
You said next Saturday at noon?
Tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow.
Sunday, yeah, Sunday.
Oh, yeah, I'll definitely be there.
Yeah, they'll sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge. Yeah. Anyway.
That's
might
have to come out too.
Yeah. Yeah, come on out and take a look because and with the spring game there's different point variations and such for the defense and the offense is pretty cool, and they'll be indicating that over the public address and letting people know just exactly how that spring game is going to unfold. So we'll talk to Mike about that as well as the spring sports that are going on at the University of St. Francis, and then we will be chatting with Mr. Shane Albahrani, play-by-play voice of your Fort Wayne Komets. Komets now back-to-back shutouts. Shut out the Walleye last night at the Huntington Center in Toledo, 3-0. Now the big thing is Connor Unger, who played a good half of the game, then came up limping, had some issues. They said was on crutches at the end of the game. So we're going to ask Shane about that. Of course, Brett Brochu has been brought back to the Komets from Bakersfield, so he will be available as well. Komets play tonight and tomorrow against Bloomington to wrap up the regular season before they start playoff action against the Iowa Heartlanders. So, and with home ice advantage for finishing second in that strong finish. So that was very nice to see, and the strong finish and the great defense. I mean, championships are won when you ride a hot goaltender. So, well, let's see what happens there. Once again, 260-447-8500 is the number to call. Well, is the number to text. So we'll take a look at your text. And as far as programming notes, we have no information. So that's all I'm going to say about that. On this date in Fort Wayne sports history, April 12th, in 1965, swimmer Judy Humbarger comes home after finishing third in the 200-meter backstroke at the AAU Nationals. She was a prodigy, making the AAU Nationals and finishing third in the 200-meter backstroke in 64 and 65. She qualified for the United States Olympic trials in 64. At the age of 13, she finished eighth in the 100-meter backstroke and sixth in the 200-meter backstroke, even though she was the youngest swimmer in the competition. Also, in 1997, according to Blake Sebring's book, once again, Fort Wayne Sports History, DeKalb's Luke Recker is named Mr. Basketball. So, which is ironic because then the edition for April 13th was in 1999. Luke Recker sends a fax in the middle of the night to announce he's leaving IU's basketball team. So things just didn't work out well for Mr. Recker down at Bloomington. So, but that is your entry for this date in Fort Wayne sports history. The Indiana Pacers were in action last night, dropped a 129-115 decision to the Orlando Magic, solidifying the Pacers' first-round opponent, which will be now the Milwaukee Bucks. And, of course, they beat the Bucks last year and, well, made it to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. So, and something worth repeating as well from the Indiana Fever perspective, 41 of 44 Indiana Fever games will be nationally televised, including the Rivals Week when Ms. Reese and Ms. Clark go at it with their teams. So it should be interesting there. And let's see what else is going on. Grandson update. I've got my grandson who plays soccer. He's a goalkeeper. And now that the soccer season's over, DC, he's playing travel soccer. And when I say travel, I mean travel. He's got a game today in Cleveland. So he'll go to Cleveland today.
Big time.
Yeah. And then when that's done, then tomorrow he's got a game in Pittsburgh.
Jeez.
Yeah. And then Monday he's got school at 7:45 in the morning. Yeah. So
he's going to be wiped out by Monday morning.
Yeah. And then my other high school aged, that was Maddox, who's keeping goal. And then now my grandson Caleb, he's a track athlete at Bishop Luers, runs the 2-mile and had to run at Heritage 2 nights ago in, well, basically freezing cold temperatures, and then ran last night at Northside. And, of course, the 2-mile is usually always the last event. So you got to be there at the start, and you just stand there and try to keep warm. But congratulations to, my grandsons. That was a shameless plug there. But
there you go. Well. There you go.
How's Quincy doing in baseball?
Not playing in the spring right now.
Oh.
Just kind of doing a little workouts. He's going to start doing a little bit of workouts with Josh Van Meter. Who has the program with Parkview Sports Medicine. He's going to do some of that. And he's actually going to be trying soccer this summer.
Really?
He wants to do both. So he's trying to see, which one. He's been wanting to play soccer for a while because a lot of his friends are on the soccer team. And so, he was like, I want to try it out and see how good I am. And so we're going to try that this summer. And
that'll be fun because he's with his friends, too.
Exactly.
Wow. Well, congrats to you for allowing that.
Oh, of course.
Because a lot of parents at this point go, no, you're going to concentrate on this.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm definitely not one of those parents. I mean, admittedly, like when I first, and us as parents, it's a really tough position. Like, because when they play, you obviously want them to be, really. It makes it more enjoyable when they're really good at it, right? Like it's
sure.
But like, I learned as I got a little bit older, and you just got to back off. You don't really want to push any. You don't want to like force them to do anything they don't want to do. Mm-hmm. And he still wants to play, and how good he is at baseball. So like for him to make a decision that he wants to try another sport as well. And always.
He's, 13?
Yeah, he's 13. So, yeah, play as many sports as you want to, kid.
Yeah.
Like, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yeah.
I took him out of the travel sports for one of the big reasons was what you just mentioned with your grandson. Like, Pittsburgh and
Cleveland, yeah, and then school Monday.
That's rough on a young kid. And, like, while, also financial is a big hurdle as well. So, like, just the travel thing, if you're able to do it, that is awesome. But, like, with my kids, it's like, if you try as many things as you want while you're still able to.
For sure. And find out what you love, what you have such a passion for, what you can't wait to get out on the diamond or the court or the pitch or the gridiron, just whatever it may be, or the ice. Just, find out what it is that you love doing.
Yeah.
And, for me, thankfully, for me, it was baseball.
Yeah,
I could never get enough baseball.
It's kind of weird for me being back at Elmhurst Little League now, too. After all these years, this is the first time since I left as a youngster, and I'm now back coaching at Elmhurst. So it's a little weird, walking on the fields that I played on. But, like, when you're a youngster and you find a sport that you love, it just and as you grow older, you even have even more appreciation for it.
You do.
What it did for you.
You do. And I had the same thing. I played, 1970, I played at St. Joe Central Little League. And in 1993, I was the St. Joe Little League president of actually two leagues, the American and the National. So, yeah, that was full circle. So, and it was always, it didn't change much at all as far as the configuration of things and all that. So
I would give an update on our team at Elmhurst, but we got smoked in our scrimmage, so I don't really want to bring that up.
And I'm wearing my baseball uniform today.
How's the team looking?
Because I'll let you know, we had two games postponed Wednesday and Thursday. Now I'm talking about the Leo JV team.
Yeah.
And I'm optimistic. I'm excited about watching us play these 28 games in 6 weeks. And the varsity is a lot of fun. Gary Rogers is the head coach of the varsity, and he's probably in just about his 40th year of high school baseball coaching.
Played against them.
And knows the game inside and out, and he's super organized and great to work with. And so the varsity is heading to Angola, probably arriving now. And the JV is hosting Angola today in a doubleheader. So we'll find out. The Leo team got off to a good start Thursday evening with a victory over the Wayne Generals. And the Wayne Generals looked pretty good. Actually, the final score was 5-2. The weather conditions weren't great for either team, obviously, but it was cold and it was windy. But, it was the same for both teams. The field was dry, so you go ahead and you play it. And it was a lot of fun. So, tell you what we're going to do. Before we go to break, I want to tell you about my friends at Culligan. You have a water softener. If you do, and it doesn't have to be a Culligan. If you had it inspected lately, $29.95 is the price for an inspection through Culligan. They will come out, send a representative who is highly trained, and he'll take a couple water samples. He'll look at the adjustments on the water softener. Did you know there were adjustments on a water softener? Yeah, there are. So based on the kind of water you have, and a lot of times water can change from one municipality to another to wells and things of this nature, and they'll take a look at it. If your softener's in good shape and everything's great, they'll let you know. If it needs a little attention, they'll let you know. But give Culligan a call today, 484-8668. That's 484-8668. Give your people Culligan water. We'll be right back with Mike Nutter of the Fort Wayne Tincaps in our weekly Tincaps chat. You're listening to Talkin Sports, powered by McMahon's Best One on 1380 The Fan, 100.9 FM.
How do you thank the people that add so much to our lives? How do you celebrate a community that brings out the best in all of us? You give back. In 2022, McMahon's Best One gave more than 100 to listen, to strengthen us, every one of us. Throughout the year, McMahon's Best One will continue to give back to the community that has given so much to us, bringing out the best in each other, together.
Race fans, the wait is over. The NTT IndyCar Series is back. And 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM is your home for all the adrenaline-fueled action. From the iconic streets of St. Pete to the legendary Indy 500. Every lap, every pass, and every checkered flag will be right here. Follow the world's best drivers as they push the limits for glory. Don't miss a second of the excitement this season. For a full racing schedule, head to 1380thefan.com. Only on Fort Wayne Sports Station.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I need new rotors.
When you buy 2 Duralast rotors during our spring sale, you get Duralast brake pads free.
Free?
With the rotors.
Well, that's great. What if I need extra stopping power?
You can upgrade to Duralast Gold pads for just $10.
So Duralast pads are free?
Yep.
And an upgrade is just $10?
That's right. Part of the spring sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
The Tincaps are back at Parkview Field on Tuesday, April 15th, as they take on the Guardians-affiliated Lake County Captains. Before that, the Caps are on the road against the Reds-affiliated Dayton Dragons. After evening the series on Friday night, the Caps are back in action as Padres' number 10 prospect Isaiah Lowe toes the rubber. First pitch is set for 1:05 p.m. on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Mama, what does the chicken say?
Chicken. Oh, okay.
When the wolf?
Oh, a wolf. Ooh!
What about the tiny dog? Cat. Owl. Dolphin? What does the turkey say? Whale.
Whale sound.
Do the giraffe.
Giraffe, really? Okay. Giraffe.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right.
Visit NHTSA.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Over the past few years, the COVID-19 pandemic has affected how we live our daily lives. Today, we also face a mental health pandemic that threatens our well-being as we attempt to rebuild our social networks and communities.
The pandemic has reminded us to value family, community, and our human connections. However, it has also left many of us feeling more isolated, confused, and alone, struggling to find meaning amid loss and uncertainty.
Today, 1 in 5 Americans experience emotional and mental health challenges. But many of us do not understand what we are facing or know how to ask for help.
At the American Psychiatric Association Foundation, we understand what you are going through, and we are here to help. Our vision is to build a mentally healthy nation for all. We work every day to eliminate stigma, combat mental illness and substance use disorders, and advance mental health. If you or someone you love needs help, you are not alone. Please visit mentallyhealthynation.org to learn more.
The YMCA is just a starting line. For the true self blooms only when we find our purpose, what makes us tick below the surface. Y is the before work hustle, an after school home, a section of my block, a corner to call my own. With my Y, I stand strong, seen and supported all along. It's a million faces in a mirror and everyone belongs. Find your Y. Join today at ymca.org for a better us.
Now back to Talkin Sports with Jim Shovlin on Fort Wayne Sports Station, 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Welcome back to Talkin Sports, powered by McMahon's Best One. Little Irish White Band. Pick up the pieces. Very good, DC. Nice. Well, welcome in. As we're talking local sports of all sorts till the top of the hour at 10 o'clock. Remember, if you have a question, comment, etc., do so via the text line at 260-447-8500. That's 260-447-8500. Especially if you have a question regarding Tincaps baseball. We already have one text that's come in regarding that. So we're going to go to the Talkin Sports phone line powered by Fire Police City County Federal Credit Union and talk to Mr. Mike Nutter, president of the Fort Wayne Tincaps. Mike, good morning.
Good morning, my friend. Great to be back on with you.
Yes, it's great to be back as well. And right off the bat, I had a text that came in just a little bit ago that says, could you ask Mike if the Tincaps will televise any games?
Great question. So all of the Thursday home games, and including this past Friday's opening night game, were on one of the ABC 21 Alive sister channels. And so all of that is listed on our website. Then the other thing that we tell people all the time, if they have MLB TV, they can get the Tincaps every game at home and on the road. And then there's other things that are all listed at the tincaps.com. There's a couple of other apps where people can watch games all the time, home and road, and some are 100% totally free. And so great question. We were the first team in minor league baseball 15, 16 years ago when we opened to televise all home games. Back then it was on a Comcast channel. We loved it. I had a lot of people in the industry saying, you're nuts. You can't show your home games. Why would you show the home games? Nobody's going to come out.
Yeah, it'll cost you attendance, yes.
Yeah, and we thought, well, it works pretty well for every major league team at every professional sports level. And we felt like it was a 3-hour commercial, so to speak. And instead of costing us money, especially in the first couple years and first year in 2009, of like people didn't know exactly what the stadium was all about, what's a tin cap, all that kind of stuff. We viewed it as an opportunity to make an impulse thought of like, hey, you know what? I will go. That looks pretty cool on my TV. I'll go out and check out a game sometime. And so not every game is on main TV like it used to be, but there's a lot of apps and stuff like that. If they go to tincaps.com, it'll explain it all right there.
And there we go. It's I've watched telecasts myself, and it's a lot of fun. It's well done, and so thank you for that text. Now, I have a question that came up a little bit earlier this morning. I noticed while perusing the roster, there is a young pitcher by the name of Clark Candiotti. Now, I remember from my baseball card collecting days of a Mr. Tom Candiotti, a knuckleballer for the Los Angeles Dodgers and maybe a couple of other teams. Is there a relation there?
Absolutely.
Really?
Clark is Tom's son. And so the knuckleball apparently is not in the genetics because Clark does not throw the knuckler, but he does throw a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. And I bet there's many days Dad would have traded him.
You bet.
So he is on our team. He made his first start the other night in Dayton. He looks like an outstanding young prospect, and we're excited to have him. He was picked in the top 10 rounds, and he is a big, big fella. I was a fan of his dad because I grew up a Cleveland fan, and the rumor mill has it that Tom's going to, I hope so anyway, but I've heard that it's the case, that Tom's going to make at least one and probably multiple trips into the Summit City this year to watch young Clark pitch on his way to the big leagues.
Okay, let me ask you a Cleveland Indians question. Was Tom Candiotti on the Cleveland staff when Phil Niekro was there?
That's a great question. It feels like he was, because it would have been a young Tom and then an older veteran, more seasoned Phil, who it seemed like played for about 100 years in the big leagues.
Yeah.
And that was his brother Joe that threw the nail file, everybody.
Right.
So, I think so. And I remember Tom had one of these crazy things Well, I think he was traded at the deadline one year to a contender because Cleveland wasn't actually a contender back then. And then, one of those, you trade him at the deadline, and then the offseason came, he was a free agent, and he signed right back to go back to Cleveland. So it was one of those things as a fan, I had never seen that before. Everybody always talks about, well, we're going to give this guy up, and we're going to do this. And then he came right back and signed with the team. Very
nice, yes. Couple of knuckleballers on the same staff would have been very unique back in those days. But, hey, let's talk some Tincaps baseball. Tincaps on the road in Dayton, finishing up a 6-game series with the Dragons. Great pitching yesterday by the Tincaps staff. Pinellas, 5 shutout innings, and the bullpen did very well. Is also, give up 3 or 4 hits on the game. And so, you got to be encouraged by that nonetheless before heading home, and we'll talk about that in just a minute.
Absolutely. We're 2-2 on the road. We always say if you can go 500 on the road and maybe a little better than that at home, you got a shot there at the playoffs. And so we have the lowest team ERA in the league. I think Pinellas, who was with us all last year, I think he's telling the Padres in his own way, I should be in San Antonio, Texas, where it's a lot warmer than the Summit City. And so his first 2 starts have been nothing short of absolutely dominant. I think he's got a shot at pitcher of the week this week with that outing. And we did it against Chase Burns, who's the number 1 Reds prospect. He was the 2nd pick in the draft last year, and he was routinely sitting at 98 miles an hour with his fastball last night. We got a walk, a double up the alley to go 1-0, and that stood up for 4 or 5 innings until we added a couple more on late. And so the pitching has been great. Somebody texted me, we got a lot of great listeners, and somebody texted me and said, explain to Jim why the Tincaps are the only team without a home run. Well, I'm pretty sure that's not going to hold for 132 games. But it's freezing. And, it's freezing for both teams. Dayton's loaded with prospects, guys that hit 19 homers last year, 20 homers. They have 2 as a team. So we don't have a lot of ground to make up. And so we've seen a lot of times over the years, not making excuses. We're in 2nd place right now. Our record is 4-3. We like where we're sitting. But sometimes it takes a little while for teams that train in Phoenix, Arizona, for teams that played low A ball in Southern California. Again, it's not excuses. The home runs are going to come, and right now we're 4-3 with the best pitching in the league, and we'll take that.
We're talking this morning with Mike Nutter, president of the Fort Wayne Tincaps, in our weekly Tincaps chat. And, let's talk about the upcoming homestand with the Lake County Captains, the Cleveland Guardians affiliate, and finally a full 6-game homestand for the people of the Fort Wayne area to enjoy. And it looks like Mother Nature is going to be kind. Maybe at least some seasonal temperatures.
I was watching more weather last week than any of the meteorologists in town. And it was one of those things we've talked together many times over the years. I've always tried to play it straight. I was on with some different people saying, it doesn't look the best, but just give it a shot. The award-winning field, and you just never know. And sure enough, we played all 3. And so it's one of those things that, no, not ideal conditions. But when we get that schedule, it's our job and goal to try and play them all, and we got them all in. And so, yes, we're back with a 6-gamer, more of the typical what our fans are used to post-COVID. Tuesday night, magnet schedule giveaway, family feast. We've expanded that this year. It's not just the couple items for $2. It's a ton of items at $2 and then a bunch more at discounts. And then Wednesday night, we're right back at it. Paws and Claws Thursday with a Thirsty Thursday, still magnet schedule giveaway all week. Friday night, 7:05. Saturday, we always remind folks of this. They're doing it today over in Dayton. We've done it the last several years, and our fans have loved it. We're at 105 on the Saturdays in April. Our fans love it. So next Saturday, we're at 105.
Nice.
Yeah, everybody has loved it. And it's a huge PBS Kids appearance. Daniel Tiger, Katarina Kitty Cat, Clifford. And then Sunday, we're back with the autograph days, 105. Go meet Leo. Go meet PBS thing, just to highlight real quick. I know that organization's near and dear to you. It's one of those things that we're not bringing in the superstars and Bird Zirk, and those are guys that I love, and we love their acts, and we love their entertainment. We've booked them forever, literally every year I've been around. But we're putting a lot of the budget towards some of the PBS and the young kids stuff and bringing in people like that I named, Paw Patrol, Bluey, all that kind of stuff, because we feel like that gets the young kids and then a lot of times the parents and even grandparents out there. And it's our job to get people out there and to grow this great game. And so we feel like if we bring in some characters near and dear to their heart, they'll come out, watch a game, and maybe they'll get hooked on the Tincaps or Parkview Field or the great game of baseball.
Oh, sure. And PBS Fort Wayne is celebrating their 50th anniversary in 2025 as well. So, yeah, all kinds of opportunity to get more visibility for PBS and the kids' characters who they love oh so well. But, yeah, that's awesome. And Mike, let's talk a little bit about the team and who are going to be some of the favorites. And I apologize if either DC or Adam asked this in the last couple of weeks, but who are going to be some of the more exciting players to follow for the fans this season?
Absolutely. So great question. Number one Padres prospect, Leo DeVries, is in here. 18 years young and viewed by many as the top shortstop prospect in all of Major League Baseball. And so we've been pretty fortunate with Ethan Salas and Jackson Merrill 2 years ago at TinCap, last year a Silver Slugger award winner the following year. Fernando Tatis Jr., who came back last night and hit a home run. Bobby Hassel should be knocking on the door any day with the Nationals. And so Leo's a huge one. He's in a top 20 prospect in all of baseball for all kids at all positions, and just a lot of excitement around Leo. And so last Sunday, his autograph line had 100 people in it when everybody else's had 10. But he was gracious and signed them all. We love the pitching. You don't normally see top 20 prospects that are relief pitchers or closers at the minor league level. But we have one of those in Tyson Neighbors out of Kansas State. He came in last night in a non-safe situation and struck out the side and closed the door and made sure we won that game last night. So there's a lot of excitement with pitchers, position guys. We talked about Pinales. I think that is one of the classic. Maybe he's with us through April or May. There's a really cool story that I would highlight. Garrett Hawkins came back last Saturday and threw 2 innings at home. And he was 96 to 98 miles an hour as a setup man. He had not pitched in 710 days.
Wow.
From Tommy John surgery that he had with us a couple of years ago. So he came in as this upshot, huge prospect. I think he still is. 6'6", 98 miles an hour. They eased him back into it with 2 innings last week. He struck out 5 of the 6. And it was that Bugs Bunny cartoon you and I grew up on where he was throwing it by him with the heater and then the changeup. They just couldn't wait. It was absolutely awesome. And so there's a handful of names. The last one I'd tell you, Brandon Butterworth. My wife, we were watching the game last night. She said Buttercup had a great – No, Butterworth, like the syrup. I'm not making fun of him. He comes from a huge college program. He's a gamer. He's one of these guys that the Fort Wayne faithful are going to love. The uniform's dirty. He's running hard. He's playing incredible shortstop and second base. So there's a handful of names for the people to look at. And hey, one thing I forgot on the week ahead, it's tough for minor league teams when you have Easter. You know, there's a great community around here of faith and believers. Not everybody is, but a lot of people are. And so we've done something the last couple times we've had Easter. We have an Easter Sunday package. It's $30 for a ticket, but it also includes all-they-can-eat brunch. It's out in the 400 Club. It's catered with pastries, scrambled eggs, hash browns, potatoes, sausage, coffee, orange juice, all kinds of soft drinks, cash bar. There's info on the website. Hey, families waited too long to get that reservation. For $30 for a meal and a ticket, That's half price of what you'll pay at some places around town, and you're in the warmth, and it looks like upper 60s by the weekend, so we're excited.
Wow. Now, the ticket that you are given, is that for the 400 Club as well?
It is.
Oh, wow.
It is. Yeah, it's awesome. So normally you can never get the 400 Club on an individual basis.
Yeah.
And when we sell the 400 Club for groups, as a group, it's $50 just to get in the door. Mm-hmm. And so this is $30, almost half price, and you can stay in there the whole time. Again, if it's warm like it is expected to be on Sunday, you can obviously get out of there, and maybe even we'll open it up to go upstairs on the rooftop in the summit and work their way back and forth. The 400 Club is an awesome view. The venue is in dead center field. It's really, really cool, and people should give it a shot.
Very good. Well, Mike, thank you so much for joining us and giving us all the information regarding the Tincaps and the upcoming homestand, and we'll talk to you next Saturday.
I can't wait. Your buddy's filled in great for you, but it's great to have you back on the show, my friend.
Thank you, sir. That was Mike Nutter, president of Fort Wayne Tincaps, in our weekly Tincaps chat. We're going to quickly take a break, and then when we come back, we're going to be talking with Mike McCaffrey, athletic director at the University of St. Francis, in our weekly Cougar chat. We'll do all that when we return. You're listening to Talkin Sports, powered by McMahon's Best One, on 1380 The Fan, 100.9 FM. Your auto or homeowner's insurance rate lately? Think it's about time to get a competitive quote? Call the Wise Insurance Agency today at 260-747-5373. Located at 7410 Bluffton Road, Wise Insurance is a local company that's been in business for 25 years. Being an independent agent working with over 15 A-plus rated carriers allows Coach Ron Wise to assess your needs and determine the best option for you to give you maximum coverage with the most affordable premiums. The Wise Insurance Agency also offers motorcycle, RV, and watercraft insurance, as well as renter's insurance, flood, and umbrella policies. Multi-policy discounts are also available, and make sure to ask Ron about the good student discount up to 20%. Let Coach Wise show you the fundamentals of getting the right insurance. Don't put it off. Contact Coach Ron and the Wise Insurance Agency team today at 260-747-5373 or find them online at thewiseinsuranceagency.com.
As a caregiver, remember it's important to prioritize your own physical, mental, and emotional health. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. In a moment, I'll explain how looking out for yourself isn't about being selfish. It's being sensible.
Cardon and Associates offers the finest senior living options tailored to your loved one's needs. Reservations are now being accepted for new apartments at Copper Trace in Westfield. Visit cardon.com.
You simply can't always be the best version of you on this caregiving journey. As cliche as it may sound, connecting with others who share your experience is my #1 recommendation for caregivers. You'll soon realize you're not alone, and in the process, discover a much-needed network of aid and compassion. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access the library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
When I started DuPont Family Dentistry here in Fort Wayne 25 years ago, I never imagined the incredible journey it would take me on. Hi, I'm Dr. Dave Deal. Over my career, I have been privileged with helping patients restore confidence in their smiles. We not only see smile transformations, we see lives transformed. And along the way, we have also built some great relationships. However, as time went on, I noticed a growing need, one that just wasn't being fully met when it came to dentures and our denture patients. They needed better. That's why I'm so excited to introduce New Hope Digital Dentures, a dental practice dedicated to creating the most comfortable, best fitting, and affordable dentures possible. Our technology, our team, and our in-house 3D dental lab have revolutionized the way dentures are made. If you are ready to upgrade to new, better fitting dentures or are ready for a smile that restores your confidence, give us a call today at 260-247-6300. We are located right next to DuPont Family Dentistry. That's 260-247-6300. Let us help you discover what a new smile can do for you.
Are you ready to elevate your business to new heights? Look no further than Federated Digital Solutions. At Federated Digital Solutions, we're all about driving growth with our tailored services, branding, lead generation, social engagement, and strategy, customized just for you. Why settle for mediocrity when excellence is just a click away? Visit us online or text FDS to 45364. Again, that's FDS to 45364.
KB here from Whoa. Don't wait until it's too late. to get your AC tuned up now with Brockman Heating and Air Conditioning, your independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer. A well-maintained system runs better, saves you money, and keeps your family cool even when the Indiana temps start climbing. Brockman is family-owned, 4 generations strong, and they've been trusted by WOWO for over a decade. Plus, they were voted #1 in the Reader's Choice Awards. You can check their Google reviews and see for yourself. Brockman Heating and Air Conditioning, on time, done right, or it's free. Your independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Now back to Talkin' Sports with Jim Shovlin on Fort Wayne Sports Station, 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Welcome back to Talkin' Sports, powered by McMahon's Best One. That's DC Hendricks over there running the controls. I'm Jim Shovlin. Thanks for tuning in as we're talking local sports of all sorts till the top of the hour at 10 o'clock. If you'd like to ask a question of one of our guests, do so via the text line at 260-447-8500. That's 260-447-8500. We'll take a look at it and see about getting it on the air for you. Let's go to the Talkin' Sports phone line, powered by Fire Police City County Federal Credit Union, because waiting patiently on that line is University of St. Francis Athletic Director Mike McCaffrey. Mike, good morning, my friend.
Good morning, Jimmy. How are you, buddy?
I am great this morning. Got my baseball uniform on and ready to bolt out the door at 10 o'clock and fly as fast as I can legally to Leo High School for a JV baseball doubleheader against the Angola Hornets.
All right, let's go, Leo.
Yeah. So it's our.
We've got some good USF connections out in Leo, so we're not closet supporters, but we like to root on the Leo folks with all of our coaches and stuff that live up in that way.
Oh my gosh, yeah, there. I think the baseball coach was there the other night watching our catcher, who's related to him, I think, and. And our center fielder who's signed with them. So yeah, all kinds of fun there. So we'll see what's cooking there. And I had a text that came in already on the text line, Mike. It said that you are excited about Rory making a run in the Masters. Is this correct?
Knows me well. Yes, somebody knows me well.
Might have been that same guy we were just talking about too.
Yeah. There's a good chance. He texted me last night too after the doubleheader up at Spring Arbor and said, "Hey, how about Rory?" And Thursday night was not a great night for Rory fans. We were for 14 holes. It was awesome. It was exactly what you'd hoped for. And then double bogey 15, double bogey 17, and all of a sudden felt like you wanted to get sick. And you think, oh, boy, they're going to hammer Rory and all the narratives and what he's been going through the last several years. And then he comes out on Friday, and that back nine was just awesome. Just to watch 10, 11, 12, 13. He just put up threes, including an eagle, and right back in it, 2 shots back, and it's going to be a good moving day at the Masters on a Saturday. So, yeah, I'm pretty pumped. But it's, Rory's my guy, and I love watching him play, but what a leaderboard is going to be fun to watch. And even some of the early highlights will be good because it's Augusta, right? I mean, you just you saddle up, you watch, and you just watch carnage and watch great golf shots and a beautiful setting. So, yeah, I'm excited for the next couple days.
Oh, the Masters, the tradition, the history, my goodness. And, of course, yeah, you said he texted you after a doubleheader, but that was a doubleheader sweep for the Cougars, too.
Yeah, big one. It was first game. It was kind of no-hitting, both sides. Spring Arbor gets a solo home run, I think in the 4th or 5th, so we're down 1-0, and then kind of rode that all the way till the end of the game, and we ended up putting up 6 on them and getting a 6-1 win, so that was huge. And then the second game, great pitching performance from Gage Smith for 7 innings. I think he went 3 hits, no runs, ended up getting a 1-0 win, so trying to figure out ways to win, and these guys are figuring it out in all sorts of different ways. And obviously, the Spring Arbor's a good baseball team, and to go up there and get 2 on a Friday are big, and we got to go back up there again today and try to get 2 more because we're playing for postseason, and we've got to make some people around the country obviously take a little more notice of us. I was a little disappointed in our ARC rating, which is kind of a rating that's a regional rating, and then we'll go into the National Selection Committee. I thought we were a little low and maybe not getting some of the respect we deserve. So, as I said to Coach Butcher, I said we just got to go beat everybody. You just got to beat whoever's left on your schedule and then get into the conference tournament and see what happens. But
Definitely. And, yeah, it's ironic, I guess, not to get respect based on that early opening schedule of the Cougars, too. I mean, taking on everybody that was nationally ranked on the road.
Yeah, it's one thing to have the number 3, number 4 strength of schedule in the country, and I know that was intentional for Coach Butcher because we did want to go play the best. And, if we'd won 1 or 2, maybe things are different for us. But we didn't end up getting any of those 8 games against Southeastern, so I don't know if that reflects poorly on us. They're still one of the top 3 teams in the country, so I don't think it should. If you actually watch those games, we were ahead in a few of them. If they were 7-inning games, might have got a couple wins, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? We're playing really good baseball. We're getting some good hits when we need to. Pitching is coming around, getting some guys healthy. And I like where we're at. I like where the club is heading at this point in time. And like I said, we just got to win games and make sure people don't have the decision to leave us in or out and just handle our own destiny.
Now, segueing over to Ryan Boland's softball team, they're playing Goshen today in a doubleheader, but they are 14-6 in Crossroads League play, 21-9 overall.
Yeah, I got votes last week for the first time in school history, so that was nice for them to start getting that recognition. And unfortunately, got a doubleheader wiped off yesterday off the board. Had some scheduling conflicts with some officials. Had to bump that game that we were supposed to play a doubleheader against Huntington yesterday, who's right behind us in the Crossroads League standings. So it would have been nice to get those 2 in, maybe separate ourselves a little more. But conversely to the baseball team, the ARC and the regional rankings that came out on the softball side actually are pretty favorable for our softball team. So we're in a really good spot there and potentially history making to get into the national tournament for the first time for our softball team. But again, lots of games left. Got to beat the teams you're supposed to beat and maybe get an upset over a Wesleyan or a Marion here in the second half as we go through the second round against Crossroads League teams in softball. So, they're, again, getting good pitching. Alexa Huth threw a no-hitter last week. So getting it done on the diamond and on the softball field, and I'm excited to see kind of how they finish up.
Yes, and of course track and field is at the Indiana Little State Championships that take place at Indiana Wesleyan today, and probably looking for some pretty good performances there.
Yeah, coming off some good meet last week. Got some more qualifiers, hit some more standards. Every week it seems like we're breaking school records, but it's we'll go down to Wesleyan today, which is where they'll have the NAIA Nationals here in a month or so. So it's a place we'll be at a couple times here over the next month, and our kids are obviously comfortable performing down there. They've done it before. Nice to have a Nationals close to home, sleep in your own bed, but same time doesn't really feel like you're in the Nationals when you're going down to Marion, Indiana from Fort Wayne. But no, right now we've got 4 or 5 kids ready to go, and hopefully we can qualify some more here today. And
before we let you go, Mike, for those that are football fanatics and have to scratch an itch, the football spring game for the Cougars takes place tomorrow at 12 noon. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, tomorrow 12 noon, culminate our spring football season, which is always a fun time as you get guys that are coming back and a couple new transfers maybe that came in at the break, give them a chance to compete and kind of wrap up the 24-25 season. A little more special tomorrow. We're going to give out our Midwest League championship rings to all the guys and give out some awards and hand them out right there on the field after the game. So it's a good time. We've kind of shifted this away from kind of banquets to really culminating everything around the spring game the last couple of years, and it's been fun for the families to be able to be there. No cost. We just play a game and then go out and recognize some great performances from the last year and academic awards and all that kind of stuff. So it's supposed to be a beautiful day. Start at noon, free for anybody who wants to come watch some football, and then probably around 1:45, 2 o'clock, we'll have kind of the awards stuff on the field afterwards. And be wrapped up just in time to get off and watch the leaders tee off in Augusta.
There we go. Well, Mike, thank you for joining us, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Sounds good, Jimmy. Appreciate it. Have a great weekend.
All right, that was Mike McCaffrey, Athletic Director at the University of St. Francis, our weekly Cougar Chat. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break so we can come back with Shane Albahrani and talk some Komet hockey. We'll do that when we return. You're listening to Talkin Sports, powered by McMahon's Best One on 1380 The Fan, 100.9 FM.
I'm Pro Football Hall of Famer Dwight Freeney, here to talk to you about something that truly matters, organ donation. Recently, I had the honor of meeting some incredible kids who are waiting for a life-saving organ transplant here in Indiana. These kids are fighters. They're full of dreams and hope, and their lives depend on people just like you to say yes to organ donation. Right now, thousands of people are waiting for a life-saving organ transplant. You have the power to help. By saying yes to organ donation, you can give someone a second chance at life.
I get to play football, I get to play basketball, I get to ride a bike, I get to do all this amazing stuff that makes me happy.
It takes less than a minute, but the difference you can make lasts a lifetime. Visit donatelifeindiana.org or say yes to organ donation next time you're at the BMV.
Fort Wayne Trails connect our community, linking businesses, families, and neighbors. Let's keep them safe. Drivers, stay alert and make eye contact at crosswalks. Trail users announce when passing and keep one ear open with headphones. Fort Wayne Trails, a nonprofit, relies on donations and volunteers to grow and maintain our trails. Stay safe, have fun, and get involved. Visit fwtrails.org to donate or join upcoming events.
Spring planting season is here, and Farm Credit Mid-America continues to stand by the farmers who keep things growing. From equipment to seed, they offer loans and services designed to keep your farm moving forward. And right now, you can nominate a hardworking farmer to win. Text FARM to 45364 for a chance to win a $75 Rural King gift card and give one to a deserving farmer in your life. It's a simple way to say thanks to the folks who work sun up to sundown, season after season. Farm Credit Mid-America, a farmer-owned lender. Visit FCMA.com to learn more.
Now back to Talkin Sports with Jim Shovlin on Fort Wayne Sports Station, 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Welcome back to Talkin Sports, powered by McMahon's Best One. Along with DC Hendricks, I'm Jim Shovlin. Thanks for tuning in as we're talking local sports of all sorts until the top of the hour at 10 o'clock. And let's go right to the Talkin Sports phone line, powered by Fire Police City County Federal Credit Union, because waiting patiently on there is Fort Wayne Komets play-by-play broadcaster Shane Albahrani, if he still has a voice left, because the Komets were 3-0 winners in Toledo last night against the Walleyes. Shane, can you speak?
I'm good. I think my wife might be upset that I still can, but here I am.
Wow. That must be universal, because my wife says the same thing about me. But anyway, yeah, but I digress. Real quick, Connor Unger, outstanding effort last night, but then came up limping and ended up, as they said in the account this morning in the Journal-Gazette, on crutches afterwards. Any update on his condition?
No, just that. He made his way onto the bus, hobbled on there, and I'm sure he'll be reevaluated probably first of next week. But the Komets got Brett Brochu back from Bakersfield last night, so we'll be okay in the goaltending department this weekend.
My goodness, and yeah, before Brett Brochu got called up to Bakersfield, I believe he was 20-10 with a like a .924 save percentage, just incredible. And so he will be a welcome addition to that tandem with Mr. Unger. Hopefully, Unger's injury is not serious, and he'll be back, because, as you know, when you get into the postseason, you can ride a hot goaltender a long way. So hopefully everything is cool there. But tonight and tomorrow against Bloomington, and then on to the playoffs against the Iowa Heartlanders, we have home ice advantage. What is the playoff schedule for that first round?
Well, we're going to be in Fort Wayne. It's obviously nabbed home ice advantage, so next Friday and Saturday at the Coliseum. And then 3 games, if necessary, out in Iowa, which would be the next Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. So it's going to be a quick turnaround. We're going to have to basically hop on the bus Easter Sunday morning and head over to Iowa to play Game 3 there. But, it's important to get home ice, and hopefully, we'll be able to take advantage of that in the first 2 games at the Coliseum. Yes, indeed. And so, I mean, and also, the ECHL handed out some awards. Mr. Mayhew is one of the first-team defensive players, and that's got to be – it's been a while, I think, since the Komets have really shown up in some of these all-ECHL awards, so that was good to see. Yeah, it's great for Kyle. I wish he was with us right now, but he's up in Bakersfield trying to help the Condors get into the playoffs. But Kyle Mayhew was a huge signing, obviously, coming out of training camp. We knew he was going to be one of the best defensemen in the league, and I think he might be the odds-on favorite maybe to win that award. We'll find out here soon enough, but I think he's been the best defenseman in the league this year. Yeah, it's one of those things where, it's affiliation hockey, and, it happens. Guys get called up, even though he wasn't on an AHL contract, but guys get called up, and hopefully we can get him back before the playoffs.
I was going to say, how does that typically work? Let's say if Bakersfield doesn't make the playoffs, do they just – and I know Toledo seems to do this almost every year, but how many players perhaps will be available to the Komets, let's say, that are on the Bakersfield roster currently?
The Komets would have, I believe, 4 that would be available. Connor Corcoran, Alex Swetlikoff, Darren Brady, and Kyle Mayhew. Oh, and Ethan Keppen. So add another one there. So there's a chance that the Komets could get an influx of talent. But Connor Corcoran is actually on an AHL deal, and he would not have to come down. But Kyle Mayhew, he's the only one who is not on an AHL contract, which is hard to believe. He would come back to Fort Wayne, but all the other guys are on two-way contracts. So, it's going to be an interesting couple of days here after the season ends. You got to have the playoff roster in by 3 o'clock on Monday. Since you don't know what's going to happen with Bakersfield, you're going to have to keep some guys on the roster. And but then again, if you get guys back, there'll be some tough decisions that'll need to be made. So I don't envy Jesse Halicki at all come after the game tomorrow.
and what can we expect, let's say, tonight and tomorrow against Bloomington? And as far as tickets available, what are we looking at?
Oh, we got a big crowd tonight, and actually a bigger crowd on Sunday. I think we're already over well over 9,000 for Sunday. It's a great way to end the regular season, send the team into the playoffs. We have our annual end-of-season awards after the game on Sunday, which is always a tradition. And, so if you're making plans, you want to get your tickets soon here at the Coliseum ticket office and get them for games 1 and 2 because they're next Friday and Saturday.
All right. Well, Shane, thank you so much for joining us. And, get ready for tonight and tomorrow and then rest those pipes for just a little bit.
Yeah, thanks a lot, buddy.
All right. That was Shane Albahrani, play-by-play voice of your Fort Wayne Komets in our weekly Komet Chat. And that's going to just about do it for Talkin Sports for a Saturday, April 12th, 2025. Many thanks to Mike Nutter, president of the Fort Wayne Tincaps, for joining us. Also, Mike McCaffrey, athletic director of the University of St. Francis, and Shane Albahrani, who, what the heck, let's call him Mike today. Mike Albahrani, the trio of Mikes. Yeah, and thanks to DC Hendricks for keeping it all smooth. Thanks to you, the listener, for tuning in each and every Saturday morning. And thanks for the texts as well. We are talking local sports of all sorts until the top of the hour, and which is where we just hit. So, with that, we'll say have a great week, everybody.
Podcasts by Federated Media.